So we have a new update to Fallout 4 the Capital Wasteland, a mod aiming to add in many of the aspects of Fallout 3 into Fallout 4 as new world space, new locations, new NPCs, new weapons, armors. Yeah, you get the idea. So starting things off, they do mention how things are a bit slow this month. This is an update they post monthly. This one's a little bit late. I will have it linked down below if you want to check it out for yourself, but basically people are starting school again, college is resuming, and not even so much college resuming, but deadlines are here. A lot of people obviously have midterms. I just had one. Like when college starts, you don't really have any responsibilities other than moving in, but as it does progress, the responsibilities do build up as procrastination does take its toll. Even further, they do mention how they are recruiting new people, specifically scripters, 3D artists, level designers, and people with general modding skills using the creation engine. So if you are interested in that or you have any of these talents, they do have a Discord link. I'll separately link it down below in the description. I want to see this made. I imagine a lot of people want to see this made, and if you could lend a hand in any way, I would definitely recommend you guys clicking on that link and just seeing if they need any help from your talents. So now for some of the actual work in progress images, we have a view of Pennsylvania Avenue. I'm not going to mention the mod authors behind these individual screenshots because they are listed at the bottom and I don't want to really be redundant, but that's not to say that they aren't doing amazing work and that they deserve the recognition. Pennsylvania Avenue is a super memorable location. This is where you saw the Brotherhood fighting the super mutants all the time. It looks really good. It definitely has a lot of the lighting effects and changes made in Fallout 4 being presented, and honestly it just looks quite impressive. Obviously none of the NPC changes or things like that are implemented yet, but it still does look really good, and I'm excited to get to experience it and have a conflict there yet again. Moving on, we do have the White House ruins. Of course, a pretty simple location, but a notable one nonetheless. There isn't like a ton to stay here, but hey, the broken steel looks pretty good, right? Then we do have the Arlington District. This of course being the really memorable location because this was one of the places that you could convert from Fallout 3 to Fallout New Vegas. I might be wrong, I didn't fact check that, but I'm like 90% sure that this was one of those transfer sites. It is definitely looking good. You could definitely see even some of the visual improvements here, like those maps are mostly readable now, where in Fallout 3, yes, you could read them if you really wanted to, but it was a bit more work. That's one of the things that got me most excited about this mod is just the overall changes and improvements that the Fallout 4 engine does bring to the table. Even though it's not a total engine switch, there's still a massive quality improvement when compared to some of the older Fallouts. Then we do have a view of the Washington Monument, and actually beyond that, you actually have that one Brotherhood Paladin that was always standing there. I believe he was defending some ammunition. Yeah, I totally said that wrong, but I'm not fixing it. It looks good. Obviously, we have a nighttime shot of this. You can see a lot of the extra details added in when compared to the Fallout 3 version. I feel like I'm being a little redundant with that. But moving on, we also have Evergreen Mills. This I feel like is an image that really highlights just the lighting overhauls in Fallout 4. You could really see the differences, the contrast there, the kind of gradient that is naturally created. Then you do have the Statesman Hotel. Of course, this is one of those locations just filled with a bunch of enemies. You could actually see in the images a few dead super mutants as well as a few alive ones. It looks really good, and maybe I'm wrong here, but those super mutants look a little bit different. That might just be me. Maybe I'm just seeing things, or maybe they're using a special EMB, but at least in my eyes, the super mutants you could see in that image do look kind of to be a different color than the ones we have in Fallout 4 right now, but all around looking really freaking good again. And I love just some of the minor details. The things toppled over, it has the exact same vibe and aesthetic as we did get when we experienced it in Fallout 3. Then we do have just a simple image of Vault 101. This one looks really high quality. Maybe this person was using an ENB or just was playing at a higher resolution, but for whatever reason, this image really pops to me, and I honestly love the look of what I'm seeing right here. So then outside of the landscapes, we actually get into some of the stuff added in. First, we do have the R91 marksman stock and grip. I showed you guys this a little bit earlier in the week in upcoming mods. If you have been paying attention, the R91 was recently released, and of course, this is going to be a new update to it, adding in some further modifications to the otherwise pretty basic gun. That's not to say it's a bad gun. It still has some awesome animations to it, as well as the just visuals of it are pretty stunning. Then we do have the pint-sized slasher mask. There's not much to say about this, but it's going to be cool to have this in game. I could already envision the screenshots of someone wearing this mask and having some gruesome scene behind them. Definitely something notable that is going to be a ton of fun to use or put on a companion. Preston seems like a great candidate for this. Then there's Colonel Autumn's Duster. This is actually something that was also being created by Ben Alpha as part of the We Are the Enclave mod. Both of these taking different approaches. I would actually say this one has a little bit more accessorizing on it. But regardless, looking really good. I actually really like the visuals on this. It looks really high quality in these renders. And then one scene of the Super Duper Mart showing the R91 in action. And this is actually not just a third person scene, but someone playing this. And again, something I've been saying a few times throughout this video, but you could really see the lighting differences here. If you remember back to Fallout 3 going through the Super Duper Mart, it just didn't look this good. The lighting I feel like plays such a massive role in Fallout 4, and the shadowing and everything like that is really highlighted, I think, by this single image. And then finally, we do have some images of the metal armor. One of, I feel like, the most memorable armors in Fallout 3. Maybe that's just me, but I just remember always seeing this armor on enemies, wearing it myself. It was just such a distinctive and notable armor compared to the other things in the game. And here, of course, we could see it in Fallout Fallout 4. This is one thing they've done in the past. A lot of these different items and armors will probably get released in Fallout 4. It's not entirely clear as to which ones will and which ones won't. I'm sure they'll reserve some for the final release of this mod, but still looking really good and something I'm excited to get to experience again. That'll pretty much wrap it up for this one though, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. Again, if you do have any talents or you just want to contribute in some way, links in the description to where you could do that, as well as there'll be another link to this whole album of images so you can check it out for yourself. As always, again, and thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Later.